last day in Ireland, last full day. I've got the ferry booked to Wales for tomorrow morning at 8:45, so the plan is to stay in a campsite just beside it and then do like 2 kilometers, get on the ferry, and yeah, and I'm gonna stay in a campsite close to the ferry in Wales and basically take the day off tomorrow, watch the Champions League, regroup. The finals on tomorrow, and believe it or not, the sun's come out, which is lovely. So I managed to wash some clothes this morning, and little things like that just make you feel much better. So I've done about 7k, and I think I've another 20 to go. No, 23 to go. I'm at 27. What am I talking about? Anyway, a lot left. Got a late start today because I was waiting for my clothes to dry, so didn't get moving until about noon. But that's alright. Yeah, kind of surreal. It's finished Ireland now today, which is a big achievement. I think it'll round up about 360 kilometers in 12 days with 2 off days. So yeah, just really happy to not be injured mostly. The body's holding up, you know. Yeah. Because I wasn't sure, like I haven't done too many long endurance running things. I done one 45k technically an ultra marathon in Wicklow Mountains, and then I did a last man standing where you just keep doing loops of about 7k. I think I done 12, can't remember. 77 is kind of what I have in my head about that. So I've never really run this much for this long. So yeah, just chuffed that I didn't get injured in the first couple of days. It's half the reason I didn't want to tell you when I was doing this, you know. I don't know, it's just easier to fail if no one's looking at you. But thankfully, no failure so far. And yeah, Ireland, it wasn't too eventful. Just getting the miles in, sleeping, eating. Not too much of it lived long in the memory. The start will, and definitely that day where I ran up the mountain, I think it was day 5 or 6 where I left, just that was brilliant. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, just happy to have it done. But I have gotten that question a few times recently, which of course you'd expect when you're running across Europe. People ask me, am I, you know, a serious ultra runner? And yeah, like I've never even officially done a marathon. The first time I did a marathon was just on my own, you know. I just decided to do it. 40k or 42k, whatever it was, and I've done a few since, but I just like running. Like I like covering distance, you know, so I just kind of do it for fun and then be like, alright, today I'm going to do 30, or I think the most I ever did on a whim was like 50. So yeah, and then, you know, I cycled down to Portugal. So it got me the mindset of what this would be like. And then about a year ago I was in Vietnam and I wasn't enjoying it. And and I had the thought, I kind of had this in the back of my head for a while, but what gave me the impetus was the idea of recording these half-hour clips every day. And so I decided to see if I had it in me, and I'd done a half marathon 4 days in a row, and yeah, it wasn't too bad, you know. So I was like, oh, I think I can do this if another year doing a bit of training. And even the training, I didn't go to the gym, I just ran a lot, you know. So yeah, it's really happy with how the body's holding up. Yesterday I did, last night I could start to feel my bones in the ankles and stuff, and my feet feeling pretty sore, which you'd expect from the repetitive impacts, but it feels grand now, and it wasn't that bad. So, and I expected to feel that earlier, considering the most K I've ever done in a week is like a little over 100. And now we're doing 360 in 12 days. So yeah, it's all looking up. Got a new country tomorrow. I was just looking at my phone there for directions, but what's great about going this slow is you can read the street signs. Duncormac, this way. Let's go. And yeah, nearly raised €2,000 for Autism Assistance Dogs Ireland. I haven't talked about that much while running because I kind of had in my head I'd do an intro video and explain it in that, you know. Oh, excuse me, chicken fillet rolls coming back up. So yeah, I'm chuffed with that. Originally I set a target of 1,000. Which I know is pretty low for something this extreme, but I just don't like raising money, to be honest. So yeah, I don't like asking people for stuff. Even people I've met along the way are offering me money, and I'm taking it off them, but I'm like, oh, you know, you don't have to, and this and that. Yeah, and like I don't have much of a, or any of it following or anything. I only set up my Instagram on the bus down to Kerry. And yeah, like whatever, 30-40 followers now, so it's mostly just friends and family. But yeah, to get that much is nice, and it's still early days, so maybe if I up the social media game we could get a bit more, because it's a good charity. They help like non-verbal, mostly I think non-verbal autistic kids and their families by providing a training dog which can make a big difference. I decided that I picked them because a few years ago I was diagnosed as autistic at 29. I think it was when I was 29 and I'm 33 now. So it was 4 or 5 years ago. So yeah, I just wanted to do something autism related. And they're a very tangible difference to people's lives, you know. Like there's other more generic ones, not to name names or anything, but like As I Am and things like that, but they do good work, I'm sure. But I find with charities you can get very lost in the organisation, you know, and then just deciding on a whim what we're doing. Okay, we'll do this for raising awareness and stuff. And I'm not knocking it, that's all great, but just knowing directly this family gets a dog and that dog changes the lives of the family and the kids, it's just great. Who doesn't like dogs and kids? Yeah, and doing this I've met a lot of people who you know, a lot of people ask what you're raising money for, and I tell them nearly everybody says they know someone, you know, a relative or whatever who is autistic or has autistic son or daughter. The one thing I'm letting myself down with, I realised, is that you know, like when I say Autism Assistance Dogs Ireland, it's like they're waiting for the story behind it, you know. They're like, oh, so do you know someone yourself who needs a dog and things like that, which only one person directly asked me. But you know, so then I'll tell them, oh, actually I'm autistic, but I don't offer that information up to people, you know, which is something I wanted to do with this. Just raise awareness about undiagnosed adults, because there's a lot of people who are, you know, and yeah, it could just be lonely and confusing and, you know, so complex, more than I get into in this run. But yeah, what I hate about it is though, is that I'm so, if you met me or from chatting to you, people don't obviously think you are, so when you say it, like I hate saying it. It's like, especially when you just meet someone, it seems unnecessary, do you know what I mean? It's like stolen valor, you know what I mean, saying they're in the military, because it's like people see autistic kids or whatever who need a lot of support, and like to say you're the same as them is, it's kind of disrespectul, I feel. But I think that's a misunderstanding of what autism is, you know. It's best way, I'll try to do it quick. Best way, I've been thinking about it a lot, like, because it's a word everyone knows, but it's not a word that everyone knows what it means. Even myself, like when I found out, it took me like years of reading and studying it to feel like I actually understood what it means. And basically I think it's like the body's an input output mechanism for the brain, for the mind. So you experience things through your body, you know, you see things, hear things, and that's why, you know, the very autistic, or whatever the correct, politically correct term is, kids who like you know, have a meltdown in a shop or something because the lights are too bright or the noise is, because the body's struggling to process the information. But for someone like myself, who's not that, again in quotes, bad, The main thing I find is that with communication, people say it's like 95% of all communication is non-verbal. I thought that was very extreme. Like, you know, and maybe that's because I'm autistic, but I just thought that was such a high number that it couldn't be true. And when you hear non-verbal communication or reading body language, you think of CIA or poker players or something, but the more I have studied, the more I realise just how much is communicated non-verbally amongst neurotypicals. You know, what way you're standing, how close you're standing to someone, volume of your voice, eye contact, not eye contact, so much stuff. Like, so that just doesn't come intuitive to me. So when you're trying to understand what someone else is thinking, that's also called theory of mind, which is basically just having a working theory of what someone else is thinking is something that's lacking in autistic people. So yeah, you're trying to input their information, but then you're also trying to output your own information. So you kind of learn to mask and stuff when you're a kid, but then you learn when you're older, you're like, alright, there's a girl I like, I can't talk to her like I'm talking to the bus driver, I have to act differently, have to, do you know what I mean? And it's just unnatural and it comes across that way. And yeah, I think the best way is like, it's like dyslexic people trying to read. Now a lot of times they can, but they just get overwhelmed with the information and they need to slow it down, you know. It kind of feels like the same. You know, you have human interactions all day, every day. So although it doesn't appear to someone like if I just met them that I find things difficult to have a disability, I do, and I don't want to, again, that's why I don't like saying it to people. I don't like looking for sympathy or anything, but just realising that it's so big, because so many people don't. They just go through life struggling, you know. And like I said in my donate page, which I'll leave a link to in every video, if you just want to donate to the Autistic Dogs Ireland, Autism Assistance Dogs. But I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, that's enough waffling for one day. Let's put some miles in. Such a nice day. But you gotta stay on your toes. There's not much to see over those hedges, but there's more than what you're catching on these videos. I just kind of noticed, like, watching them back, is that this is what you're seeing a lot, and it's basically what I'm getting, but you just get a little glimpse over the hedges. See the mountains in the background or something. It's a little nicer, but what can you do? of water, give you a look. Okay, 10 more minutes. I like to go without stopping, but it's 20 minutes there without a drink. In this heat and continuous running, I gotta prioritise the run. Oh, this is so nice though, the weather. It wasn't raining yesterday, but it was windy as. Turn it this way. It was very windy. Even when I set up camp, it was on the coast. It was just getting blown everywhere. My tent actually broke a little. It was already broken. I'd fixed it with duct tape, but I have to refix it now tonight. Oh dear. I'm glad I went this way. Seems like a nice road. Something I haven't done enough of is take my time, look at the few options, see which one's the best for running, you know. Like this one's slightly longer but quieter roads, you know. Whereas I was just kind of beelining it beforehand.
Are you heading off here? Do you want to go ahead of me? Yeah.
Just let the smell go. ferry. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I'll see you in the UK.